Venezuelan immigrant detained by ICE after honeymoon visit to Trump's Doral Resort. Doral, Florida. A honeymoon trip intended to celebrate a new chapter in life instead led to months of detention, legal uncertainty, and financial hardship for a Venezuelan immigrant living in the United States after he was taken into custody by federal immigration authorities near President Donald Trump's golf resort in South Florida. Bryan José Rojas Galofre, a Venezuelan national residing in Wisconsin with his wife, Socorro Zaragoza, traveled to Florida in January 2025 as part of their honeymoon. According to interviews the couple later gave to Spanish-language media outlets, one of the highlights of their trip was a planned visit to Trump National Doral, where a Republican political gathering was taking place. Zaragoza, a U.S. citizen and supporter of President Trump, reportedly hoped to see the president during the visit. The couple drove to the resort area expecting a memorable experience, but events unfolded differently when security personnel and law enforcement officers stopped their vehicle near the property. Authorities conducting security checks around the resort discovered items in the vehicle that raised concerns, including an airsoft gun and a marijuana grinder. While neither item was linked to violent criminal activity, the discovery prompted additional questioning and a more extensive review of Rojas' background and immigration status. According to reports, officers referred the matter to federal authorities and Rojas was subsequently detained. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, later assumed custody of him, beginning what would become a lengthy period of detention. At the time of his arrest, Rojas had a pending asylum case in the United States. Like thousands of Venezuelans who have fled economic and political instability in their home country, he had sought legal protection through the U.S. immigration system. Supporters of Rojas argued that he was complying with legal procedures and had no serious criminal record that would justify prolonged detention. The case attracted additional attention because investigators reportedly examined Rojas' tattoos while assessing whether he had any connections to criminal organizations. Federal authorities in recent years have increasingly scrutinized tattoos as part of gang identification efforts, particularly in cases involving migrants from Latin America. Rojas denied having any affiliation with gangs or criminal groups and maintained that his tattoos were personal in nature. Family members and supporters echoed those claims, arguing that assumptions based solely on appearance can lead to misunderstandings and unfair treatment. For nearly 3 months, Rojas remained in detention while his immigration case and background were reviewed. During that period, his wife worked to secure legal representation and advocated publicly for his release. The detention placed significant emotional and financial strain on the family. Legal expenses, bond payments, travel costs, and lost income quickly accumulated. According to interviews given by the couple, the total financial burden reached tens of thousands of dollars, creating severe hardship despite their efforts to navigate the legal system. Zaragoza described the experience as emotionally exhausting, saying that what began as a celebration of their marriage turned into a prolonged fight to reunite their family. She spent weeks communicating with attorneys, gathering documentation, and seeking updates on her husband's case. After months in custody, an immigration judge granted Rojas bond, allowing him to be released while his immigration proceedings continued. His release marked a significant victory for the family, but it did not end the uncertainty surrounding his future in the United States. Rojas remains involved in ongoing immigration proceedings and continues to pursue legal avenues to remain in the country. His case highlights the challenges facing many migrants with pending asylum claims, particularly as immigration enforcement has become a central issue in national political debates. The story has generated discussion among immigration advocates, legal experts, and political observers. Supporters argue that the case illustrates how individuals with unresolved immigration cases can find themselves detained even when they are attempting to comply with legal processes. Critics, however, maintain that authorities have a responsibility to investigate potential security concerns whenever they arise, particularly near locations hosting high-profile political figures. The circumstances surrounding Rojas' detention have also drawn attention because of the political irony involved. Zaragoza has publicly stated that she supports President Trump and his policies, yet her family became directly affected by the immigration enforcement measures that have been a cornerstone of the administration's agenda. Despite the ordeal, she has expressed mixed feelings, continuing to support the president while questioning aspects of how immigration enforcement is carried out. Her comments have sparked conversation online, where supporters and critics of current immigration policies have cited the case as evidence for competing arguments about border security, asylum procedures, and the treatment of migrants already living in the United States. As Rojas awaits further developments in his immigration case, advocates say his experience underscores the complexities of the nation's immigration system and the human consequences that often accompany enforcement actions. For the couple, what was meant to be a memorable honeymoon has instead become a defining chapter in a continuing legal and personal struggle. The outcome of Rojas' immigration proceedings remains uncertain, but his case has already become part of a broader national conversation about immigration enforcement, due process, and the balance between security concerns and humanitarian considerations in the United States. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.